Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the vault. Trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live, listening, replay. Always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listens in the replay. This is the vault, episode 544. We're up there. Happy New Year. Welcome in the new year. This is an episode, actually the first episode of 2024 for historical purposes. Really excited, really thankful for this episode. So we definitely wanted to take some time out of the schedule to do this episode for the listening audience. This is something that's already come up in consultations. Actually, this year came up last year quite a few times throughout the year. Questions about it. We've already engaged with people in the environment, asking questions, and very aware. We'll jump out there from the beginning of the episode to add tremendous value and say this is something for the public. It's clearly a public law, so it's for the public. And so when you're talking about private trusteeship, that's why you're enrolling in private trustee training. Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, Christian at trustchristian.com. Literally just had a trustee enroll yesterday just because of that information alone, which is dealing with the fact that this act, quote unquote, is dealing with the public. So people may talk about it from the perspective of does it deal with corporations? This is part one of the episode. We're definitely are crunch for time, but we'll definitely do another episode which deal with just going deeper into it, making sure we're thorough and giving out, our thoughts on it and giving the listening audience the opportunity to at least hear from the private perspective, someone that's trustee training. When it comes to, private, well, here we go. So, the Corporate Transparency Act is definitely a public law that was passed or a public act that was passed. Same thing with the, what is it, B.O.I. It is the beneficiary. It is the beneficiary. Uh oh. The beneficiary, here we go. We'll Google it for everybody to make sure we got it. BNI. So this is something that once again, uh, yeah, beneficial ownership information reporting, and so this is definitely something that even when we see it, oh, it's FinCEN. Well, I thought you guys wanted crypto. We thought you guys wanted public money. We thought you wanted digital money. FinCEN's public, right? FinCEN's public money, right? This is public, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't private. Oh, I want to deal with the crypto, but I thought that was private. Y'all said that was private. The audience, people say that was private. This is called Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. Financial. What are we dealing with? We're dealing with these Sam Bankman Frieds. We're going over definitely into the crypto space for sure. FinCEN's highly involved in that. So when we talk about beneficial ownership information, are we talking about you all operating in these foreign jurisdictions with these foreign trading platforms? Are we talking about that, ladies and gentlemen? That's what they want to know. The Beneficial Interest Information Act. For sure. Why do they not want to know that? Why would the government not want to know, oh, you guys are making tons of money through the internet? Well, if the companies are willing to at least give us the beneficiaries information for you guys making all this money through these trading platforms internationally, how are you guys operating with these companies internationally? Are you using a corporation? Are you operating out of Delaware? Are you operating out of Vegas? Are you operating out of Wyoming? Are you operating out of these other states? Florida, Texas? Where are you operating out of? Oh man, they just gonna change the laws for they gotta give up the beneficiaries. You think they doing that in Delaware? As long as this state's been around, you think they doing that in Vegas? These are longer states that have they've been around. They've had their mark for holding corporations in a very strategic manner. And if it's a state thing, you see how they're moving. It's a state thing. Remember when you file, it's on the state level for those corps, right? So they have the corporate transparency. We want to see who's the beneficiaries. Interesting enough to see how a group of people may think that the people that wrote the laws aren't the ones that are going to make sure that they're in their benefit. We talk about that all the time, and if you talk about the gov and mixing public and private, they have private interest. They're in the blind ones, right? Corporate transparency. I definitely wanted to do this episode, go over some important points to highlight how easy it is to decipher between public and private, how to maneuver through it, and how to keep it moving. These are things that are set up for public people that are operating purely, most likely through the public. They may not have private aspect of it. Someone asked us in the consultation already this year, is it something where we can stop being public? Of course you can. These are things that, if the private is still existing, ladies and gentlemen, they have private credit, they have private lending. You all are very aware that there is a private sector. They talk about it in the public all the time. There's just a situation where these companies that have filed for corporations on the public side, especially international companies, they've tried to file for business addresses in the states, and so they have to give up information if they're going to be in the states. And so that information right here is interesting to say, well, who is the beneficiary? Who's the beneficiary, ladies and gentlemen? Is the beneficiary you? Uh-oh. We're in the consultation already this year. The beneficiary is who? Who's the beneficiary? And so that question has already come up. So, are you the beneficiary? Well, clearly we know that that information now is supposed to be released to the public. So, how is it beneficial to be in that position? Clearly, if you're the beneficiary, you're being supposedly set up to be disclosed. There is a disclosure that is in the public that says, well, all public beneficiaries of corporations, and you can read over the document yourself as a business population. We are to read over these things that involve a high level of something to have a conversation with your lawyers and your accountants about, especially because it's supposedly a public corporate transparency act. This is something to look over and read as well. So, interestingly enough, interestingly enough, we are here in 2024. We had this conversation last year with many people, and we're here right now to do what? Get back in the, or to be in the game and say, hey, ladies and gentlemen, uh, this is the part one of this episode. We will do more to gather more information about it. But this is something, once again, that's in the public. So when we're talking about, oh, private trusteeship, that's definitely not public. Private trusteeship definitely is aware of these things. We're definitely aware of these things. We've been aware of these things. And this is why you have a team and a team around you, people around you that are in the public are able to assist you with small aspects of this, especially when you're quote unquote private and things of that nature. So definitely look forward to hearing from you all. Christian at trustchristian.com. The year's already started strong with trustees. We knew that was going to happen. We definitely are going to work on our first event here and get that one out of the way. We're looking at Q1 or late Q1, early Q2 to go in and maybe do some reporting over the earnings of what we got going on over at the vault. So we look forward to connecting with you all. Christian at trustchristian.com. Christian at trustchristian.com.